Wah. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. Hey everybody. Welcome back to today's Daily Peek, where I peek the day. Where I daily the peak. Where I peek the daily day peak day. I'm very awake, as you can tell. Heart emoji. I need to hit CVS today. Because I've run out of one of the vitamins I take. And I am almost out of my antidepressants. There's one more in here. There's one more in here and I can't reach it because it's stuck to the bottom of the thing. There we go. All I had to do was shove an entire thing of kitchen shears into the thing. So I've got vitamin D. I do not have vitamin B12. It happens. It happens. It happens. Bleh. But I do have the vitamin D, which is probably the more important one. And I have my morning meds, which I'm going to take with a Glacier Burst Lost and Found energy drink. If you guys have morning meds to take, I would advise that you do that. Assuming it's still the morning for you. It might not be. Who knows? I don't. Bleh. Okay. I'm awake. I'm alive. I'm a little creature. Yeah. I'm simply a beast. A little creature. I am an entity. Okay. I'm gonna open the game. I just have the RimWorld thing open. Where's Peak? Where are you, my love? Okay, here it is. I'm very awake and normal. Having a very normal one. Anyway. It's windy out. I know, because the wind just tried to pry the window off of the wall. It made a loud ass noise. Anyway. That's good. Oh god, oh god. Oh, that's not how that should work. Oh no. Fuck. Okay. I can do this. What? Yeah. Alright. Let me get all the way up to Ascent 7. And we can go do the thing. That's a nearby tree. Cool. Jeez. What? Where'd the wilderness guidebook come from? I don't need a rope spool either. Okay. Yay. Oh, yesterday I had more Pathfinder. I forgot about that. I had fully forgotten I had a Pathfinder session. So that was a fun surprise. You love to see it. But yeah, yeah. I'm making the :3 face. I had a Pathfinder session, and notably, it was pretty fun, but towards the end, like the first hour was really fun. We did some RP, they were casing a house, but you've got to... Basically, I was running the haunt exactly as written, which means I was running it in a more complicated way than I usually do, because when I run traps and stuff, usually I reduce the amount of disarm attempts it takes. Exactly, you get it, Pirate. Usually when I'm running traps and such, in order to disable a trap, you need to successfully roll a thing multiple times. And if you fail like once in that series of checks, then you set the thing off. Well, okay? I didn't need to know that. Oh, fuck. Okay. That's something. Anyway, so yeah, I ran Pathfinder yesterday. Overall fun. But yeah, I ran the haunt as written. Usually, I reduce the amount of disable attempts it takes to disable a trap. But this haunt was like story important, so I made it do all of the normal stuff. And that was a mistake, because that means it took several combat rounds to disable. And you are supposed to play them in combat rounds. And it's one of those, like... Everyone was a little mixed up on the rules in a way that was like, okay, everyone is confused. Including me, to be clear. Usually I abridge these things, because it's just like... You know, usually you run a trap as like an isolated thing, and it's like it's a one round situation. You do it or you don't. Or that is how I run it. But yeah, no. No one knew what to do with multi-round trap disarming. So, you know. So I need to, I need to change how I run those, either back to a simplified method or a more, like, expedient round structure, wherein we don't spend any time, like, questioning rules things. Because that was, like, the downfall there. Okay, I'm not progressing. Yeah. I'm still on the shore, so I can restart. Yeah. Yeah. Just to take it from the top. So yeah, I got stuck in a rules vortex, which isn't ideal, but I've learned things. Such as, don't get stuck in a rules vortex. Hot tip, try not falling off the cliff. Fuck you. Heart emoji. Bleh. I went through and I finished the Grievous Wounds system, which I decided to tweak a little bit from how I was previously trying to plan it out. Okay. Grievous Wounds is a subsystem that I considered implementing for a number of games and will be implementing in Dungeoneers of Kroya games. Basically, when you land a critical hit, instead of doing double damage, you can inflict a Grievous Wound, which imposes a pretty bad set of conditions on the enemy. And, you know, the enemy can do the same thing to you. But notably, they are, like, staged wounds. So you have your, like, initial onset wound, and then you can set the wound, and then when it's healed, it's gone. So it's got, like, a middle stage in there. And that... the, like, easiest way to do that, at least in combat, is a medicine check, because, you know, it's like, the logic behind it is, oh, this is a wound that is so bad that it is not properly covered by healing magic. Like, if you were to try and heal it, like, it accelerates your body's natural healing, and the body will absolutely fuck up healing naturally. I don't know if you have seen photos of broken bones that have healed back wrong. Not pleasant. Basically, you can break a bone, it goes like sideways, basically. And the bone, if you don't, like, properly set it in the right position, for the entire period of time that it is, like, repairing itself, it will just heal sideways. Like, it'll come back sideways, and it'll just adapt to that, because you didn't, like, put it back in the right position when you were letting the wound regenerate. So the thought is, oh yeah, healing magic accelerates the body's, natural regeneration, as opposed to, just, like, stitching it back together, like, full doctoral care level. You know? Hi, Jake. Welcome to stream. Yeah. So the idea is like, oh yeah, you can break someone's bone and they have to set it right before they heal it, because otherwise it's going to heal back wrong and it's not gonna be good for you. And there's like a long rest version of this where it's like, yeah, if you heal it wrong, you can, like, re-break it over the course of a long rest. Hey, Ami. And, heal it back proper. But, like, yeah. So it's one of those subsystems. Originally, I was trying to make it so it had a like a grievous wound that can be inflicted for every damage type, because that was like one of the things is oh yeah, like you get a special extra effect here because of like whatever type of damage you're using, and that was overwhelming. What combined chat doc software? Oh, I use, Botrix. You can see Botrix in the chat when I, like, first start up the stream. Yeah. It's a service that lets you combine the chat, across YouTube and Twitch. You just make the bot a moderator on both platforms, and it, like, collects all of the message data and sends it to the thing. Yeah, it sends it to the thing. I'm so articulate. I think so, probably. I don't know. When I'm actually, like, live streaming to multiple platforms, I use some OBS plugin, and I'm using, like, a separate thing for the chat. I don't know if it's the most effective way to do it, but it's what I do. And Botrix only cloned the entire YouTube chat, like, a few times. It is, yeah. And you can tell it's Botrix because whenever you say its name in the chat, it replaces that with its logo, making it significantly harder for anyone to look up because you can't see the name of the bot in the chat. Yeah, no, Botrix. If you spell it correctly, no one can see it, so. Yeah. Anyway, I've been working on this Grievous Wounds subsystem for Pathfinder stuff. And one of the notable things is, originally I was trying to make it compatible with all of the types of energy damage, like fire, acid, poison, etc. But yeah, it, aside from it like needing to be flexible on a case-by-case, I also realized it was an entirely needless buff to spellcasting, basically. When you have, like, a spell, half of those have lasting effects written into them. It's part of the spell. Like, you'll have, like, spells will deal extra persistent damage and stuff. And the thing that I wanted to do here was add some extra impact that, like, fighters and stuff can have. So I went into the system, and instead of making it compatible with all of these energy damage types, and, like, including spellcasters for basically no reason, I made it so it works just with physical damage types. And it's, like, necessarily you need to be using a, like, weapon, like an actual weapon. Why do I have 5 notifications? I need to wait until later to respond to that. So many spells are here's a status effect for the next period of time, and your weapon can't do that. What if your weapon could inflict a status effect for a period of time, huh? So instead of the way that it usually works, I've got the Grievous Wound system, which lets you target a body part to do, like, a weaker effect, and a stronger effect based on the type of damage you're using. So if you have, like, a warhammer, you are doing bludgeoning damage, so you can, like, you know, shoot someone in the arm, make them enfeebled, and because you're using bludgeoning, you can also give them the concussed trait. And that will also make them stupefied 3 and knock them prone. That kind of thing. How do you get Botrix? I don't remember. I did it, like, months ago, and I haven't really interacted with it. They've got, like, a website. I don't know, Google it. But yeah. So I set up the Grievous Wounds to have these, like, extra effects that you can inflict when you are doing combat as, like, a fucking sword guy. You have some abilities that can do that, but I like this extra method. They definitely have a guide for it somewhere on that website. Yeah. So, yeah. I also like the idea of, there are weapons that have, like, the concussive trait. That is a trait that mostly belongs to firearms, though I think it's on some other things too, maybe? But essentially it is, with weapons with the concussive trait, do, like, this damage type, or if it would overcome a resistance, you can choose to do a different damage type instead. So you have, like, this whatever blunderbuss, and by default it does piercing damage because basically all ranged weapons do piercing damage. But it has the concussive trait, so if the thing you're trying to shoot with this, like, blunderbuss shot, is resistant to piercing damage, but not to bludgeoning damage, you can, go, okay, well, I'm going to instead, you know, use the concussive force inflicted by this powerful shot, to do bludgeoning damage, as opposed to the actual piercing of the bullets themselves. Because, you know, regardless of the bullets doing damage, you are still getting hit very hard with what is effectively a blunt force. So this grievous wound system would allow you to, like, with a weapon with the concussive trait, do either the additional effect for piercing or bludgeoning, depending on which damage type you're doing. And that is just a concept I really like. I'm very into that as a thing. Howdy, Yucky Yak. How's it going? I'll be having a good one. I'm talking about all of the homebrew shit I do for Pathfinder. There we go. Finally, I knew I could get up that ledge. I was having trouble. Yeah, so I've got the grievous wounds system, like, actually settled into place. It is mostly an enhancer for folks who are doing physical damage, which I love as just like a thing. The fighters get the buffs because they do not keep parity with, like, spellcasters later on. They just don't. If you are John Swordsman, you are getting outclassed by your local warlock. And, like, in a sense, it is their reward for, you know, taking a less survivable character up front. Hell yeah, good work, chick. But, like, you know, you like to have the feeling that you can do some extra shit. No, I'm using OBS. It doesn't have, like, a screen recorder or anything. It's just for the chats. Okay, I can see some luggage around here. I want to see if I can get a healing item. Yes, I fully did drink a fortified milk for my hunger. It's not even good for that. I'm just kinda worried about how much health I've lost here. And hey, thankfully, a fortified milk will also prevent you from getting additional ticks of hunger while that fortified effect is active. Same thing is true of the Bing Bong, the golden Bing Bong, by the way. While you hold it, you cannot get hungrier. Fuck. Okay, well, we are all very happy that I implemented that rule a while ago. But it is still a little sad to be like, well, I have a sword, and I can swing it multiple times. Good work, Jake. It is good that I implemented the rule that I can restart the thing as long as I am in the shore. Because I have died in the shore twice now. It's a rough shore today. Like, yeah, exactly, Pyrite. At a certain point, it's like, man, I have gained the ability to swing my sword a second time. And that's it, basically. Like, every individual class has their own flavor elements, you know? You can be like a swashbuckler and you have the whole panache system and all that. But it is all less, like, I don't know, less, like, overt. It's a whole, you've got to do a lot of planning for it. So, like, as you progress, it feels like you are becoming less impressive to watch, effectively. It's like, guys, I don't look cool anymore. Guys, you took all my cool points. So yeah, my hope is the Grievous Wound system both adds extra impact to, like, sword fighting and such, adds a little extra threat to, like, bestial-type enemies who also don't do magic. Because, you know, they're fucking bears. I would like the bear to remain a threat to higher level adventurers. And the best way to do that is make it so when it is doing physical damage, it has that extra ability to do more long-lasting injuries. Which can be a pretty severe inconvenience, by the way. Because you need to, like, use up your downtime activity on a long rest. And a lot of other stuff I do in terms of homebrew for this. Because very little of it is actually combat-centric homebrew. It's mostly adding things to, like, downtime activities. And, like, giving you clear rules as to how to run those. Because it is, like, the big thing in the Dungeoneers of Kroya system, like, additions, is that it is a subsystem of Pathfinder for running mega dungeons. You know? So it's full on, like, oh yeah, I'm running dungeons which are the size of, like, large cities, or even small countries. And one of the notable things is, like, yeah, instead of doing it on a room-by-room basis, you are navigating between a web of, like, point-of-interest nodes and all that. I think I've done a pretty good job with the system. Yeah, Kyle summoned God? You love to see it? And it's one of those things of, like, yeah, rogues can do some pretty impressive single target damage, you know? Like, one of the big things with, like, rogues and such is making it so they can stack up a ton of bonuses in order to get crits more consistently. Because in Pathfinder, you crit if you do, like, if you get 10 over the DC, as opposed to just on a natural 20. So, the, like, skill monkey types, especially rogues and such, their whole thing is doing a lot of, single target focused strikes, and getting crits really consistently. But, like, you know, not to, like, imply that double damage is, like, weak, but, like, you could be going up against, like, a construct who is immune to critical hits and precision damage. Both things that you can be immune to in Pathfinder, fun fact. Monsters can have both of those immunities. So it's like, fuck, what do you want me to do about this? Like, the thing with a lot of, like, fighters, rogues, all of that, is their job is to just do damage more consistently. Which is good. It's balanced well, but it doesn't feel as impressive. Like, the mechanics work out fine. But yeah, you don't get, like, the power of the stars to throw at your enemies. You can't summon your god, Kyle. Like, that kind of thing. You kinda gotta rely on getting good magic items, and if that just isn't in the cards, then that's not in the cards, you know? Okay, I've got some decent stuff. Alright, can you guys see what my plan here is? Can I grab onto that? No. Where can I grab on? Here, that's mostly flat. Hell yeah. Yeah, right? There's not as many dice. Sadly, the Grievous Wound system does not inflict additional dice, but it does allow you to say, I have inflicted the effect exsanguinated on the enemy. So they are, in addition to all of the damage I just did, drained 3 and take 2d4 persistent bleed damage. And not the kind that you save from. That is the kind that is tied to a wound, so it keeps going until someone rolls a medicine check on them. And like, if you're facing a solo enemy, no one's doing that. It stacks up it stacks up a lot. Like, I'm worried 2d4 is too high of damage. And yeah, drained, if you aren't familiar, is already just a shit condition to have. It'll take you out. It will reduce your hit points by your creature level times the effect level. So if you are a level 3 adventurer and you have drained 3, it will reduce your, like, max hit points by 9 as long as you have the thing. That doesn't sound like too much, but you hit, like, creature level 11. It's like, oh, max HP reduced by 33, okay. And then you also take into account that you can apply these wounds to, like, 3 different body parts. It's head, arms, and legs. And you're hitting 9 by 11, and yeah. inflicting that many levels of drained is liable to reduce enemies like max HP below their fucking like current. Okay, that's not ideal. Fuck. Fuck. I will say, as long as you're focusing on doing some like item crafting, though, you can get a lot more than 2 dice per swing. Because I believe every level of like striking rune that you apply makes it so you add another damage die to your damage rolls. So you can do, like... Oh, you can triple the amount of dice that just your weapon has, not counting additional elemental damage from things like runes or other enchantments. Enchantment! Yeah. Anyway. Ow. I am not doing all that good on the shore today. You can get it up there, but there is still, like, a pretty common complaint in Pathfinder. No. I don't know. I haven't used Restream, I don't think. Oh, yep, I should have known that jump wasn't gonna work. Okay. Fuck, this is around where I died last time, huh? Okay. Explorer's crate down there. Regular crate up there. Lovely. Yeah, Grievous Wound system. The buff the marshals, buff the marshals, but in parentheses enemy, and buff the doctors, because it makes the medicine skill a lot more important, because you have to tend all of these grievous wounds. Ow. Alright, this ain't gonna go well. If there is a medkit in that explorer's crate, I'm saved. If not, I'm restarting. Well, fuck me. Oh, cool. Okay, that is attempt 3 at the shore. I'm trapped in hell, I think. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of stuff for the Dungeoneers of Kroya system. Dungeoneers of Kroya, the mega dungeon system, I guess. Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, yeah. For those who haven't heard me rant about the Dungeoneers of Kroya campaign that I've been writing, Pathfinder 2e is the system that I'm using for all of this, to be clear. Dungeoneers of Kroya is a campaign about exploring, like, city-sized mega dungeons, basically. And I have been writing subsystems to handle navigating in and adventuring in dungeons on that kind of a massive scale. It's like point of interest based travel. There is like an organization that does some logistics there. But like, yeah, you are traveling to the scant few outposts within a dungeon, navigating on the scale of a city, and pretty consistently under threat. Thank you very much, Dice Bomber. Yeah, the most recent system I finished was the Grievous Wounds subsystem, which puts a little more focus on having like a proper doctor type in the party, as well as buffing marshals by allowing, you know, when you do a critical hit while dealing physical damage, you can forego doubling your damage in order to deal a grievous wound, which has a longer-term impact on the enemy. I am nearly certain there is. Oh no, the Explorer's Crate's over there, isn't it? But yeah, I also worked out the point of interest based exploration system, wherein you travel between points of interest within a dungeon, and in between that you have some random encounters, but mostly long resting and such. The various ignored rules in most Pathfinder games are emphasized to like actually add to the tone. So you do have to care about encumbrance and like how much ammunition you've brought, because you're in a dungeon the size of a city and the next outpost is like 4 days away. So you need to figure out where your ammo's coming from, and how much of the bulk that you can carry you are assigning to your ammunition versus treasure that you could be taking out of the dungeon. It adds some extra logistical challenge on top of the other stuff. And I am a fan of logistics. It is really complicated, but it emphasizes some of the realities of dungeon exploration that you wouldn't ordinarily explore, and it also means that you are using like all of the rules in Pathfinder in an experience that is very catered to the kind of game that the rules are written for. Yes, because I'm a nerd. I like logistics because I'm a nerd, alright? And because I watched Delicious in Dungeon once and was like, oh, I could do something with this. And proceeded to spend the next, like, year writing subsystems for exploring dungeons larger than some campaign settings. I also introduced the setting in which it is assumed that these dungeoneering Delicious in Dungeon was really cool. But yeah, the assumed setting in which these like mega dungeon exploration things are happening also has a bunch of lore behind it. So one of the notable things is there is a group of shadowy magical dungeon masters who go around using their dark magics to create the mega dungeons for reasons unbeknownst to anyone, except for themselves, presumably. No guarantee they actually know what they're doing either. But I've been using those dungeon master characters in the other campaigns I've been running, and to help like connect all of them. So I've got some interesting things out of that. Because the dungeon masters are just a set of like color-coded wacky villains, and everyone loves those. So I've been having a great time playing around with them, just absent of all of the other bits of dungeoneering, Dungeoneers of Kroya. Like, I've taken them to other systems entirely. The dungeon masters are currently terrorizing a group of magical girls. Antelope. Yeah? Yeah, Jake? You good there? Like, yeah, I run a fake condensed game where all of the players are magical girls, and they are being terrorized by the same dungeon masters that create city-size mega dungeons. Because they're turning up in a new world, and it's like, oh yeah, well, our whole deal is recruiting, you know, heroes from other worlds to be mini bosses in our dungeons. That is their stated motive for being in other universes. So it's like, well, how do we find the heroes in this, like, local dimension or whatever? And it's like, well, I suppose we could just, like, start throwing monsters around and see if a hero turns up. And against all odds, this works. And they create a team of magical girls that they are trying to recruit to the dark side. Cantaloupe. Alright. Hope you're doing well over there, Jake. Try not to die or anything. Fuck. God damn it. This is not going right. This is a hard shore today. I need you guys to keep in mind, usually I run the daily peak once, because the rules state I can only restart in the shore. So if I die after the shore, the stream has to end. But I've just been sitting here dying in the shore over and over. I might need to, like, call a friend just to progress beyond this. Oh, fucking easy for you to say. Gods. This is the longest I've streamed in a minute, because usually I've made it past the shore by now. But yeah, I've had so much fun working on this Dungeoneers of Kroya setting. I am going to continue working on it until either... What the fuck are you doing here, Jake? What? I'm so confused. Anyway, but yeah, I'm having a lot of fun writing Dungeoneers of Kroya. And I am close enough to finishing that I am so... I can run, I'm sure I will be able to run campaigns for it, like, within the month. Maybe not within this, like, next month, but, like, still. I'm so close. I'm nearing the end. I just need to get the, like, first tutorial dungeons mapped out. I don't know. I'm almost definitely gonna hit new obstacles once I'm actually mapping out dungeons I intend to use. So, we'll see how it goes. But I'm so fucking close. You guys? Yeah. You kind of gotta do the tutorial last. It's one of those things where it's like... Yeah, how are you gonna know what to teach people if you haven't made the game yet, you know? My granola bar. To the ocean now. Wild that it's visible. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like... Yeah, no, you gotta know where you're ending to know where to start, you know? Like, you absolutely can pants a campaign. Pants being fly by the seat of your pants, aka go in without a overarching plan and work something out along the way. But I personally, when it comes to, like, you know, making an entire system, would prefer not to. Because ideally, I'm putting this into a guide that other people are going to be able to use eventually. I'll sell it for $5 whole. Yeah. Because in the introduction, you're supposed to go over the arguments you make in the introduction, and you know, you can pre-plan the document and be like, oh yeah, I would like to make these arguments, but also sometimes you're gonna do the research for the essay and realize that you're making bad arguments. Something I've never done. I'm actually always right the first time. Oh my god. The Ko-Fi stream bot has dropped my Ko-Fi link in the chat, and I have not gotten out of the shore. It's only set to do that once an hour. It doesn't even show up to half of my streams. I'm trapped in the fucking shore torture void. The fucking shorture void. At least I have a more effective traversal tool this go around. So I can probably get higher than I have gotten before. Does that mean the top? Who knows? But any progress is progress. Anything is better than nothing. I'll do my best. I don't know, I've got therapy. I've got therapy at 1, it's 11. If I can't get past the shore fast enough, I may have to cut it short so I can go to therapy. Which might be the funniest reason to cut a fucking stream short. No, I almost had a panic attack over making dinner yesterday. I think I need it. I think it's more important. I didn't have a panic attack because I expertly parried all of my intrusive thoughts using my psychic sword of mostly annoyance, actually. You motherfucker. Okay. Wait. I've done it. I'm up higher than I've ever been. Rescue Claw saves me. Rescue Claw is my best friend. I would like to be up there. Thank you. I've gotten a notification from r/rimworld. Damn, my stomach is not happy with me. Probably because I skipped breakfast. Because, you know, usually the Daily Peak doesn't take too long. Usually I get past the shore pretty quick, actually. I don't have to invoke the shore rule all that often. But no, today they made the shore Mount Everest. Right after I said panic attack over dinner, you got a Taco Bell ad? God damn. There's some jokes that truly can't be written. Never kill yourself. You could experience the funniest thing in the world. But yeah. Okay. I think I'm making it out of the shore this time, you guys. I might do it. Okay. This is such a difficult shore today. Like, what is this generation? I, like, had to use a rescue claw charge to get up. I don't think there's a way I could have done it otherwise. Like, this is a tools necessary shore. Like, this would not be true Mountain Goat Challenge friendly. What? Book of Bones. Could be bones. I know, because the next time I die, it is permanent. Now that we've hit the roots, death matters again. Damn. Usually, the Daily Peak Challenge is, like, short. We've passed an hour at this point, and I've only just now gotten out of the shore. Now, whoops. Of course. I feel like there's more trees today than usual. Is this like a dense route? Because, like, I feel like I don't usually see the trees clipping into each other. Fantastic start to the roots, thank you. I'm glad I've done an amazing job in your eyes. Really, all I need is for Pyrite to be proud of me, and I've succeeded in life. I value the opinion of my best friend Pyrite quite a bit. And, you know, if they were to ever make fun of me, I would be devastated, really. So I'm glad I have the full support of my good friend Pyrite. Heart emoji. God damn it. Doing some mime shit to survive the wind. Nope. Right. I'm fine. I have no idea. I don't know what else you've done. Have fun? Like... Once you've got the chat widget in your OBS, you should be able to see the chats on both platforms. So you're like done or whatever. Ooh, I'm doing bad. Sorry, I hadn't looked at my stamina bar in a minute. Yeah, not ideal. Not an ideal situation there. Ow. Ow. I'm fine. Oh, this is gonna go bad. There we go. It's a perfectly fine stamina bar. How do I look at my chat? I just look on OBS. Yeah. Hey, thank you very much, Dice Bomber. I appreciate it. I will have a wonderful climb. Bro Chacho, not a bro, but I appreciate the thought. That was a fucking zombie. You love to hear a zombie or two. I'm hoping just a zombie, but two is a distinct possibility. The thing is, I didn't see them at any point, so I don't know where they are. God damn it. Jesus fucking... No. Absolutely not. Oh my fucking god. I don't know. You should read the instructions on your own shit, man. Like, everything that you have set up, presumably, has its own manual, so... Fuck me. Okay, good. I can mine my way out of that. I really thought there would be, like, more just up here. I might be able to make that, but if I don't make that, I die instantly on the ground. So I'm not gonna do that. I am gonna do this, though. Fucking wind. Okay, what's over here? Yeah, hi, buddy. I don't think that connects to an area where I could go up and around. I'm not gonna risk it. All right. Good work, Jake. I don't quite know what I'm gonna do with another energy drink, but okay. It is better than not getting items. I can say that. Alright, lovely. I'm not liking my prospects here. Alright, what do red mushrooms do today? Red mushrooms are fortify. That's really good. I definitely saw another one down here. That was not a red mushroom, that was a shelf fungus. Still useful, not what I was expecting. You know what? If I take any damage, I will either die or I will need a medkit amount of damage. I don't need to keep bandages on me. Alright. Okay. Where am I going? Alright, let's see if I can get anything useful out of some luggage. Okay. That's on me. I guess I should have expected it to be fucking awful. Sorry, I'm getting pessimistic. Bleh. This is not ideal. What even happened? What? What was that? That was... I got by a spider that was on the vine for some reason. And it grabbed me. And I guess it must have been directly above the vine, because they don't start doing health damage until you're all the way up. So that means that I was taken all the way to the top in like less than a second. So it must have been right there and I just didn't see it. And then it did brute damage to me just as I hit there. And it was enough to full clear my health bar because skeletons take 5 times brute damage. I think that's what happened. Fucked. Absolutely fucked. I don't know what that... Alright. Well, I suppose that is a fitting enough end to the fucking Mount Shorverest episode of the Daily Peak. I appreciate everyone who tuned in. I appreciate your viewership, and I will see all of you guys next time. Bye.